Okay, the first up is Chen Yu, and yeah, this is straight from the module. And if you guys do decide to use the character design from the module, that's okay. Although the idea and the reason we spent so much time designing your character was to use your own design a character and kind of apply the methods used that you learn in the module to your design. But yeah, this is pretty good, clean version of this. Um, not um, not too bad. There's a couple kind of pinchy areas I'm a little concerned about here, but I mean I think it's all right. Just something seems to be happening around there. I just want to see if I can figure out. I guess it's all right. Oh, look at that! See that? Um, I guess it's just that it turns into a triangle, and that's why it looks a little odd. Okay, I think that'll be all right. Um, and might want to get a little bit of a better shape to his butt. It looks a little funny right now. I tend to I think the arms could be longer, and that's largely the fault of the design itself. But one way to do that is if I, take these guys and we'll turn on soft select. Maybe make it a little smaller so it's not dragging on the side of the shirt. And then I'll hold down W, the W key, click, and I can do symmetry, symmetry, and then do both sides at the same time and just kind of pull this a little longer. I think that's a bit better. You could do, a little bit more of an indication of, I'm just going to turn off. Well, might be good to have, so again, it's B for soft select, and then B, click and drag to change the size of that. So, giving a little bit more of an indication of the elbow, both in the front and in the back. Can be helpful. Maybe, maybe a little more shoulder. For when the arm's up, you could also try to push in the armpits a little bit more. But fundamentally, this is, pretty good, clean model. So nice work. And, if you would like to do your own model, that'd be great. Your own design. Here's Chen Yu's hand. And, yeah, once again, good, clean model. You can get, this gets a little flat on top, so I would tend to round that out a little bit more. One thing I've done is circularize that. Is that this one? Yeah. And you can do that with this. And then kind of, still sort of flatten it out a little bit. But I don't know, I think that makes a bit of a nicer shape. I mean, you might want to do some kind of compromise between that oval shape and this, but could do the same here. And then again, scale it a little flat again, but then at least it's kind of starting out a bit more round rather than having that real flat top. And then if you want to give the hand a little bit more kind of thickness to it, because the character is sort of, heavy. If I do Control F9, that will change my selection to vertices. And you can also, under the select menu, you can go to convert selection and say to vertices, and that's Control F9. And then move tool, and then if I hold down the W key, click, and go to axis normal, and then I can drag on this end and see how it's just making the hand kind of thicker. um, if you want. So it just pushes them all outward. Just gives the hand more kind of a meaty look to it. Um, and that, being in that mode, you'll be like, I can't see my move tool anymore. Well, you can go back here and go back to object. But if the move tool is ever acting just strange, or any of these, select, move, rotate, scale, if you just double click on it and hit reset tool, that usually solves that. So yeah, if you're going to continue with this guy, fine. Um, but it looks like you did it, totally by the book, and it looks pretty good. Okay, this is Hand, and we can see from here the character design. Um, so let's take a look. I might. So yeah, the first thing I'm noticing is a kind of intersection of the hips and the body, and I think that you could afford to make the shirt a little wider to fit around the legs. So I'm gonna select this edge all the way around, and then use a shift period, which is the greater than symbol, to kind of grow that selection. And whoops, sorry. It's really sort of on these corners that we want to move it out, not just the whole thing. But let's move the whole thing out at least a little bit. And again, I'll use that Control F9, which will convert my selection into vertices. You can also use under the Select menu, Convert Selection to Vertices, right there. And then move them outward again and use the in normal mode. And so if I hold down the W key and click with my left mouse, I can go to Axis Normal, which by the way you can also get by double clicking on the Move tool. And where is it? I don't remember. I always do it that way. Oh, right here. Yeah, normal. So, and then just pull on that end thing, and that'll just kind of push it out in all directions. And now at this point, I think I want to be, once I'm out a little bit more, I think I want to be more selective. So, oh, that's interesting, because just want to make sure I get there. Oh, what is that weirdness? I'm going to check something a little odd I saw there, which is, I'm going to hit Isolate Select. What is this little surface here that's kind of, must be something left over from the way you built it, like a little piece of cylinder or something. I'm just going to select one of those and grow selection, shift period, and then delete that little guy. Okay. Yeah, there's no edge that aligns with that one, so we'll have to, yeah, faces is actually not a bad idea here. I have symmetry on, by the way. If I hold on W, symmetry can turn it on and off there. And again, I'll switch to vertices, Control F9, and I'm still in that normal mode, so I can just pull out these a little bit more, and maybe then just these a little bit more. Okay, and then again in the back, pull those out. Something like that. Okay. And maybe this is a little bit too kind of perfectly, I guess it's not perfectly linear in the front, but I might maybe pull this out a bit just to give it a bit more shape, and then maybe like push that in a little bit, just so it's not quite so straight from the front. Anyway, these are pretty fine details. And I might maybe pull this down a little bit. Maybe push these in. And then here's where, if I want to push them in towards each other, I mean, I kind of actually could use that normal thing again. I kind of like that. Kind of push it in. Just using my middle mouse drag. Once the end line is selected and it's yellow, I can use my middle mouse button, so I don't have to be right on top of it. So I can be, over here and seeing the change. Maybe like pushing this in a little bit. Those guys too. Maybe. I don't know. Pull these guys out some more. I don't know if that's any better. Anyway, you can play with it some. I think these... This looks like there's more of a breast that has a little bit of weight and shape to it there. Yeah, I'm going to say we've got a triangle there. Not loving that. Triangles everywhere. How did we end up with so many triangles? I'm not sure how you built this, but lots of triangles there. That one doesn't seem to be doing much for me. I might get rid of Shift, right mouse click, delete edge. See, that didn't really add. Just oh, it gave you the tiniest bit of a change to the shape there, but I don't know if that was really necessary. Because I feel like you get that, from adjusting these. Oh, and then we have a weird kind of this extra edge here, which is making this into 1, 2, 3, like a 5-sided object. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3. Oh no, that is 4. That's interesting. You took a triangle. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could take these guys and slide them out. Maybe Shift, right mouse click, slide edge, just to kind of even out the topology a little bit more. Maybe take those, and I'll turn off symmetry if I want to scale things towards each other like this, like pull them in a little bit. Maybe pull this up some or out. That one too. Probably go back to object mode. Pull it just straight up. So I guess what's weird is I feel like you've done this differently than I did in the video, because the arm is being pulled out right from the top there, instead of having a few one or two face rows above the shoulder where the kind of neck comes out. I feel like that's somewhat maybe the source of our problems here. I'm gonna just take out this face row, just select one and then shift double click on the next one, and I'll grow the selection shift period or the greater than symbol, because I want to. Oh, I didn't have symmetry on. Okay, I'll just do this manually here. Oops. Ah, jeez. Grow selection, take that out. Yeah, now I'll put symmetry back on. Because I was thinking it would help to circularize these to get a little bit better of a shape. Not too much better. And then I might, what happens if I try to flatten these out? Yeah, I can try to sort of flatten those out, so I'm going kind of straight out from this point. See if you look at the front now, once I scale it, see how that's flat. And then maybe go to here and scale that down some. And then, then you need to make the arms, and so you can do what you did there with the extrude face, and then getting that surface, and then extrude face again, and then pushing it in to get that edge, and then maybe put your. See, you can't get the holding edge easily because the thing doesn't go all the way around, but we could probably fix that. What I might do is Control Shift X and then kind of slice. I'm just holding down Shift and slicing right through the middle there, and then I get a nice clean line. And then let's see if we can't turn this back, at least from that point forward, into quads. By getting rid of, say, this edge here. Shift right mouse click, delete edge. And is there any more triangles? Kind of move that one in a bit. Okay. That's a triangle. So, well, it's not a big deal really, because we could just do Control Shift X and click here. And then go maybe there. Oh, is that already? Okay. And then get rid of, like, say, this one. Shift right mouse click, delete edge. And then I might redo that. Probably was hasty at adding that back in there, but because I think I want to circularize it again. But maybe what happens if I do? Yeah, let's get rid of these again. Face. And then okay, it's starting to look a little cleaned up now. I wonder if this is really doing much for you. I mean, I might. Oh God, there's just a lot of funny stuff. I'm not sure how you built this. I mean, I would try to It would help if you went a little bit more by because so many things seem to be ending on triangles on this, but unnecessarily. Like this one, I wouldn't have going down as a triangle like that. I would probably get rid of these guys and these guys. And then have this Control Shift X for the multi-cut tool, and then that can go around there, and that solves a few of those. And then you've got another one here. But again, maybe there. We're going to run into another triangle right here. But then I might again get rid of this and then put it back in. Oops, face. Shift period grow, delete. And then we can get rid of this one. I don't know why that shows up. This one. Can we go around? What happens? Probably need another one going around anyways. Control Shift X, start here, and actually I kind of want to get rid of one of these first. Shift right mouse click, delete edge. Yeah, and then maybe this could kind of come back up here. And then maybe that could cut across the back. And can we get rid of this? Just a lot of that's no good because whoops. I'm probably spending too much time on this one. I'm just trying to resolve a lot of these triangles and these sort of five-sided faces and all that kind of stuff. Circularize this one, even those out, this one again. It's starting to look a little more cleaned up. Alright, I mean that's starting to look like a little bit more of a sensible surface to me. And then you could add in the, you know, once you've got that all making a little bit more sense, you could put in this stuff and now add your, you know, some holding edges to this. Extrude, shift right mouse click, extrude face, pull that in. And then add a holding edge here. That's looking a little better to me. And then you've got to make the arms, but you probably just kind of start with the cylinder and shape the arm and just kind of fit it in there underneath. I mean, you could build the arm out of the shirt if you wanted to. You could start with this edge, you know, and then do extrude edge and pull that out, you know. I could just add some, hit T, add some divisions. Whoa, it didn't like that, did it? Jeez. Anyway, maybe doing it just a little bit at a time instead. You know, I don't, is there a design? Oh yeah, yeah. I've got this here. Whoops. Just double clicking, take that here, scale that down, Control Shift X, put it right through there. Anyway, that's a pretty fair approach for this because I think that'll just be easier to deal with, having it all be one surface. You could have the arm be a separate surface, but it doesn't need to be. Shoes, pretty simple. I think you could probably add more detail to these, maybe get the front more rounded. You spend a little more time on these. Just get more shape and more detail, and make sure if you're putting these extra edges that they go all the way around, like these. Looks like you've got something poking out here, so you can fix that. Maybe a little bit more of a sense of a soul. And again, similar to what we did with the arms, you want to do the legs. I think you might need to scale these guys in a little bit because they seem to be overlapping some. But yeah, you'll need the rest of the legs, the ankles, essentially. Again, more five-sided faces like here. Lots of triangles there. So it looks like you had, you did this a lot differently than I did. You'll want to push in that stuff. I guess in smooth preview it's okay, so that should be fine. Oh, we already did that. Anyway, I've spent quite a long time on this, so I'll probably stop. Hand is you probably need another split here to get a little bit more shape. I think you just need to spend more time refining the shape, getting some of those rounded shapes here and here, lifting up where the metatarsals are, rounding this thing out. Scale that down, spread that out. Maybe even do that here. Will that help? Oof. Maybe not. I don't know. I may have made things worse with that. I think you're going to need to. I would kind of pull up each of the metatarsals. I think I do that in the video and like pull out some of the shape. So look at some of the hand refinement stuff in the video and clean that up a little bit. It looks like you've got some very problematic stuff going on here. That's a many-sided face. That's not going to be a happy situation for you. So kind of like that sculpt geometry tool, smooth, and then turn off the symmetry in this case. Why is it? Oh, I'm sorry. There's a symmetry here. It's a reflection thing. Yeah. Just trying to kind of spread out these verts a little bit so I can see what's happening a little better here. And then that's a bit of a mess to go clean up, but I don't know. I mean, here I go making triangles now, but something's got to be done to make this not like this many-sided face. Whoops. Why is it not letting me doing that? Oh, maybe because I'm not in the multi-cut tool. There we go. So that's four-sided. Now we have a triangle there, but at least it's the only one. And then it's starting to be a more usable area. Here we've got, these are terminating here, which is no good. Those will have to continue around. Yeah, I guess I can get rid of this now. No, maybe not, because then I end up with a six-sided. Can I get rid of that one? Okay. Let's get this to keep going around. And then I can get rid of this one. Shift right mouse click delete edge. Okay. I mean, that's starting to be something. And then can we do another edge loop here somewhere, maybe, and then grab that and scale it this way to kind of flatten it out a bit, and then get in there and adjust that some. And oops, I think we might need to. Yeah, there's a few kind of stretched out looking things here. Maybe pull some of that up. That's getting a little stretched, that face. Maybe you need another loop around too. I'm not sure. To kind of even this out a bit. Yeah, something kind of diverted away from the method I used. But anyway, so spend some more time shaping the hand and trying to clean up some of those areas. I guess I can save this in case you want it. Let me know. Um, okay, this is Maddie, and yeah, this is looking really good. Um, pretty clean surface. Like how we've done the feet. Um, um, yeah, you might want to pull this in a little bit further, just in case we get any angles where we can see that. So extend the forearm a little further in. The hand model looks really good. Maybe you could use a little more shaping, because that's looking a little bit lumpy and funny here. I might pull maybe some of these up a bit, just using soft select. It's kind of I think you kind of had the right idea. I think just some areas maybe went a little too far. That looks pretty good, actually. I mean, yeah, this is a really good, clean model. I kind of don't have a ton to say about it. Um, I'm wondering where we're getting this kind of creases look to it. You might try to even out some of the topology where it gets a little bunched in the front, and I'm kind of not. Oh, I see you've done this whole crease here. That's why that. I'm wondering if we can get a little bit nicer flow over the edges there without, having it be such a intense right angle. So first, let me see if I can spread a few of these out, like just be this to, I think, to here, like the whole thing, and shift right mouse click, slide edge. I don't have symmetry on. Hold on, W, symmetry, yep. Oh, why didn't, yeah, that's the one thing, is like when you do an asymmetrical surface, symmetry stops working, and it just makes for more work. So I'm going to turn symmetry off because it's not going to work. I'll just have to do one side at a time. So I'm just thinking if we can, I'll just double click on the whole thing and then deselect, hold down control and then deselect the top half and then slide edge. Yeah, I'm just getting a nicer kind of evenness here where it's a little bunched here and then spread out there. So you can repeat that on the other side if you want. And even here now I got a little bit more leeway to Shift right mouse click, slide edge. Just even that out a little bit. And I think you're getting this smoother thing where here I'm seeing a little bit of this kind of somewhat kind of faceted edges where things got a little bunched. So see if you can even some of those out. But this is kind of a finer point because it's a really good clean model. Yeah, it's great work. Yeah, really good. And this is how you and it looks like you're choosing the to do the character design that's included uh, instead of your own. And I think if I remember correctly, that might be good based on your designs. It looked like things got excuse me a little messed up around this collar area. This got pretty crazy there, and I'm not sure if I can pick that apart. You've got stuff ending here, and um, certainly, yeah, there's a lot going on that's not right here. Let me try to turn on symmetry. Just kind of grow that selection. Ooh, not good. Alright. I'm just going to start deleting stuff off to try and get it back to where I don't know, that we can start salvaging this. But this went pretty berserk. Wow, there's just a lot of not good stuff going on here. Weird little edges everywhere. Just trying to tear it back down to a point where it can be. Oh, and that's all torn up. Oof. Yeah, this went quite wrong. And how did that end up like that? Maybe if I merge these together to target weld or something. I don't know. It's just really. Just trying to get back to a salvageable state here, which I think we're getting to now. And then I'd probably do like a ring around here or something. And then you can kind of, after cleaning this up a little bit, you can maybe rebuild that, get that edge, shift right mouse click, extrude edge, pull this in some, maybe, it's probably better before. I just want to make sure this is reset. So if it's interfering with my extrude tool. Guess that's alright. Do it again. This time just go straight down, something like that. Then I can put some holding edges in, Control Shift X, and maybe here and there. You know, starting to be a little bit better. Yeah, and then there seems like it's a little dense here, maybe more, and then kind of pull the pants up, I think. Just trying to, isolate these. I might grab this top edge and, ooh, something's not right if it's doing that. There's some kind of extra edges in here or something is not right. Let's try see if mesh cleanup will help us out there. Mesh cleanup with lamina, non-manifold, edges 0 length, faces with 0 geometry, cleanup. Don't like the look of that. Maybe that's alright. Something's not right up here. Boy, there's some real not good things, like in this little area here. I don't know how you ended up with all these extra little edges on one side and not the other, it looks like. Might be worth remirroring this. Oh, sorry, I gotta turn symmetry off first. And then let's get this edge back in the center. Oof. Is that the center line? It's kind of hard to tell. It's almost like this row of faces spans the center. Might take this opportunity to take out an edge row or two. Shift right mouse click, delete edge. Maybe this one too, just so we can always put more back in, but just deselect those, make sure I've got this whole edge. Control F9 to turn that into a vertices selection. And then let's get that to that center edge. Make sure this is on absolute and put that on 0 in the X direction. And yeah, that should all be dead on the center line. And then I was trying to take this and kind of flattening this out. Whoops, not that. Just this one. And then move that out. And then I have just kind of a flatter thing to start with. Oops, something was bad there. Oh, there's some more kind of craziness going on there, but yeah, look, okay, here's some more of these weird little extra edges you've got in there. See, it gets to the point where I honestly have an easier time just rebuilding this from scratch rather than trying to clean all this stuff up. Because now you're wanting to kind of take out those edges. Okay. Anyways, I was doing this, flattening this out. Yeah, that's better. Maybe moving it up a little bit. And then, what is this? Gosh, yeah, you've just got all these little crazy faces sticking out everywhere. I don't know where they all came from. Might adjust this edge. Shift right mouse click, slide edge. And then we should be able to remirror this. Shift right mouse click, mirror options. Cross the X. Combine with original. Merge 0.001. In the negative direction, so from the positive to the negative. Alright. And then probably just some of these edges. Symmetry's not working, that's a pretty bad sign. Something went wrong. Just gonna undo the mirror. Looked alright to me. I might do this, man. I'm gonna delete history, Alt Shift D. Gonna duplicate it, scale it -1 in the X direction. Gonna just move the pivot point to DV, snap it here, and then hold down V for point snap and snap that together there. And select the two, mesh, combine. This is sort of a kind of a manual merge because the other things seem to have produced strange results. And then edit mesh components, merge options, 0.001 merge. Okay. Let's see if the symmetry is acting normal now. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. And then kind of really work on the shape of the butt and all that kind of stuff. And so they're kind of a mess, honestly. It shouldn't take that much cleanup. Then you're going to want to adjust the shape of this to match and probably lengthen the arm. So a lot of fixes on this. And again, in some cases, it's just easier. I think if in a lot of these cases, I probably could have remodeled the whole thing at the same amount of time it takes to find out those little problems and fix them. Okay, this is Cindy, and yeah, it's looking very good. It's a fairly complex character. Some good kind of anatomical shapes going on here. The boot shape looks pretty good. I might want to just isolate one of these. I might take this edge face row and shift right mouse click extrude face and kind of maybe pull these straight. Whoops. Wait, why is it doing that? That is really weird. I don't know why it's being kind of weird like that. It shouldn't move the whole. No, it's not. Ooh. Is there some issue with the surface in there? Maybe. I don't know why it feels like it's acting funny, except to say that I think it's kind of intersecting with this stuff that's going on in here when I try to push that up. So maybe instead just kind of get a little bit more surface detail on there and get a loop like this, and then try moving that up a little bit. Just make sure it doesn't. Yeah, I'm not real happy with how it's intersecting with their fairly complicated shape, but go up a little bit. I think we can get, a bit of a nicer look to this. Maybe a little bit of a tighter holding edge here. And there. To get a little bit better of an edge. And maybe on the top you're going to want holding edge on the inside and the outside. Get a little bit of a nicer look to that. You might want to do this a little bit more on the sole in the same regard. Again, to get that harder edge. I don't know if you wanted this to be that tight or not sure. Anyway, let's show everything else again. Yeah, very complicated shapes, so I think you've done a good job with the difficult character. There's a lot of complex things going on here. You are going to want some more geometry here so that when this bends, the buttons don't interpenetrate with the surface. So I would say there has to be an edge loop, at least one, per button, to kind of have some hope of those staying. I know that looks a little dense right now, but I think without a fairly dense surface, the buttons won't do a great job of staying on there. I mean, there's another way to do it actually, which is we could try doing a wrapped form. I'm just afraid there's not enough surface detail to make those stay with the surface without doing that. And then I'm wondering if you could have done some of this detail without, for example, making all these triangles. I mean, I could see maybe you didn't want to, do something all the way down, but I think I would have liked that better and then pulled that over here, when it was needed. Or just, from here. And shift right mouse click, slide edge, and you're kind of getting most of the same thing without having to make those triangles. Yeah, so let's, handles looking like it's got a lot of nice detail. Obviously add those arms, just start with cylinders and shape that in there. But man, really this is a good clean model. It's nice. And no simple model with all these crazy asymmetrical shapes going on. This is a challenging one to do. Okay, this is Michelle, and just wondering, there's some pretty messed up surfaces here. I might redo this torso with the fresh cylinder because I think you're going to want to follow the module a little more closely on that than what you did. Why does it say 40? Just 10 around there. I think we usually did 12, didn't we? That seems you've got 10. because the idea with this is let's just get some. Oops. Just getting rid of the top and bottom of that. Oh, you didn't do uh, the archive scene, which would have given me the image that you can model to, but I'm just gonna just sort of fake it here real quick. Turn off symmetry for the moment. You know, obviously this is pretty quick and dirty, you know. I might take all of these and hold down W, axis, normal, and then push those in on the N thing here. Try using my down arrow to select the next row down and do the same. Whoops, that down arrow can do stuff like that, so it's gotta use with caution. Maybe we can scale in this whole thing. Anyway, I'm working very rough here, but just to get some basic shape in. But see, to match the arm, we're going to want, see, part of the reason we want the arm to be made of 12 rather than 10 is because if we, let me just, if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, maybe that'll work. Maybe we can get that to work with your existing arm. Because that's 10, right? 3, 6, 10. Oh. Alright, so let's circularize that. And let's show that arm again. And again, obviously I didn't spend enough time refining this the shape of the shoulder, but this is just to show you the shape of the torso, but this is just to show you the process, because then I can select this and do mesh combine, and then once I've combined it, I can take that edge and this edge, and since they're the same number of edges, it should be able to do a bridge really well. Shift right mouse click bridge, and then I've got that connected, and once that's connected, you know, maybe I can add maybe a division, and then maybe start shaping the shoulder a little bit better. You know, maybe pulling these up a bit more, and maybe I'll take this edge, be shift slide edge, maybe slide that one, you know, and then maybe push in the armpit a little bit, etc., etc. Pull up the shoulder more. Anyways, this is all very rough. It's more to show you the kind of the overall process than showing like a truly refined looking model. But I just very quickly, you know, wanted to show you how you could get a seamless connection with the arm. Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot more modeling to do, and then you'd make it symmetrical again. Lots of, I don't understand why you've put in all these edges here. So the edge loop should go all the way around. So I would take out, let's just put symmetry on again. Turn off soft select. Oh, symmetry's not working. Okay, not great. That means it's not symmetrical somewhere. But all of these don't make sense. If you're going to put these in, do them all the way around, not just halfway around. Like Control Shift X, then hold down Control. You can add a full edge loop. You don't want the edge loop going halfway around. It's no good. So yeah, no hands out as you mentioned. I think the shoes could use a little more time and refinement in the shape, and look out for these 5-sided faces here, because don't end your edge loops right in the middle of the face there. It should go, continue around if possible. Probably going to want to get, you do have a hole in the top, but yeah, you just got to kind of keep going on this. It looks like these are misaligned, like you're going to want these to go, again, all the way around. Yeah, there's a lot of many-sided faces here, like this one. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of 4 sides, so you probably get those splits to go all the way around with the multi-cut tool, and then so yeah, that could use a lot more work. And then build the hands. You can more or less follow the module. So yeah, just keep going. This is Hayden. Mentioned got hung up on the boots. Do we have everything in here? Show all. There's nothing that I'm missing here, is there? It's not. It's better if you do archive scene, because then I would get all the images with it. But I think actually the boots, I think it's coming along okay. I think you'd want it a little bit more rounded though. So I might, and I think, yeah, I might take out some of the detail. Is this symmetrical? It looks like it's pretty symmetrical. I should just delete out some of these. And then you can always add some detail back in once you get a little more shape to it, because yeah, I kind of want to get that thing rounded. I think what I might do, one thing I don't show in the module is you can use the lattice on just a certain set of vertices if you want. So I can take that and lattice, and then maybe add a couple divisions. Way too many. Maybe 5. And then I'm just trying to round this out. I'm just using soft select. Don't really love how that's doing that. I'm going to turn off that soft select. It's already looking a little better to me. A little more rounded. Yeah, I think I might delete history. Alt Shift D gets rid of that thing, and then yeah, you're sort of going to want to similarly probably around these guys. Might do that sort of same trick again by doing lattice and just a part of it. Add a couple divisions. Maybe make this 5 again. That seems to work well because it gives us that center line. And then once again, grab the lattice points and move those down, move these up. Yeah, that's much nicer. Alt-Shift-D. Oops, rid of that. Yeah, now we're getting some better shapes. There's a little bit of funniness here. Maybe a bit too much geometry there, some intersecting. It's alright. Might want to do, yeah, I mean, if you want to keep these real blocky, do your holding edges, Control-Shift-X. And then probably at the top as well. Is it going to let me do that? Yeah. Whoops. Better. Oh, you're kind of missing some of the treads. I think there'll probably be. But it's, I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. See if you can maybe lose some edges here. There's some stuff going on in the back that doesn't look so great. Oops. Ooh, okay, I'll watch out for this. This is probably because you deleted an edge loop that was going around here without using delete. Yeah, and then you gotta put that back in. The delete edge loop tool rather than just just hitting the delete button. Not really liking this triangle. Maybe some of these can go. If there's any edges you can get rid of, then do so. Little cleanup here. Anyway, it's okay. I mean, I think. Did I do that? Oh, let me turn off symmetry. What is going on there? Oh, just this extra face right here. I think that's all that was. Okay. Alright, that still looks a little disconcerting. No, it seems to be moving around like normally. It's just, I don't know why it looks pinched there. That makes me feel like there's something wrong, but I'm certainly not seeing it. Anyway, I'll save this in case you want it. But yeah, I think maybe you obsessed too much about the boot and then kind of fell behind on some of the other surfaces. I think the pants are okay. I think you give them maybe a little bit more of a round shaped butt and then see if you can lose some of these edges. Is this symmetry working? Yeah, it seems to. Like, if you can get away with, less detail and the shape looks about the same, then do so. To me, the shapes, maybe I went one too far, maybe you need those, and maybe you want to slide these in towards each other. I just want to do that. Yeah. And then shape that again a little bit more, kind of round out the butt somewhat. Maybe we do that last trick again, I don't know. Is that better? I might have gone too far, but you get the idea. Alt-Shift-D to get rid of the lattice and delete the history. I think I went too far with that, but anyways, you can play with it a little bit. Maybe it's okay. Maybe a little more knee indication on there. Okay, hope that was helpful. But overall, you're a little behind right now, so you really gotta catch up. Okay, this is Tia, and yeah, it looks like you more or less got the arms. Oh, okay, this one's not connected, but this one is, so you'll just need to remirror this, although I'm really not happy with what's going on here. I wonder why that happened. It's pretty twisty. Is it just that it's twisted, or is it not the right number? I don't think it's a kind of a matching number of edges on the body and the arm. So just try to delete that out, and then how many edges is going around here? Why does it say so many? It's crazy. Anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, you got that right. Well, let's circularize this. And kind of move it to position a little bit more. Maybe pull that out some. Maybe pull this out a little bit. Oops. Oh yeah, it's not a separate surface right now, so I might take this edge and that edge and move that out a little bit. Give us a little more space for this. And let's see if the bridge does any better now. Shift right mouse click, bridge. Okay. Hopefully you can see that that's already a much cleaner connection than what you had. And then just remirror the whole thing. Not sure what this little thing is supposed to be right there. It looks a little funny. Mine's looking okay. I think we could get a little bit more of a, let's make sure symmetry's on. It is. Maybe a little bit more of a knee shape in front here. I can sort of pull that out. Oh, symmetry's not working right. Could be something asymmetrical about these pants. It's being a little crazy, so I'll turn that off and just do it manually. Maybe push these in back a little bit. Anyway, you could kind of keep working on the anatomy to make it look a little better. Maybe shape the butt a little bit more. And again, this looks a little odd right there. I don't know what you're going for exactly. But if yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and then making, remirroring this, and deleting half and remirroring it, getting it all lined in the center. Let's take a look at the hands. Oof, boy. that's a real mess, and I think you need to go back and redo those based on the video in the module, because that's not a real workable hand. That's kind of a mess. So I think take a couple steps back with those hands and redo those. Maybe give it more of a lip to the top of your boots, some thickness, by doing the extrude edge thing. Oops. Shift right mouse click, extrude edge. Push that in. Then push it down. Do it again and then go straight down. And then put in some holding edges, Control Shift X. And here. And we've got a little bit better there. Alrighty.